Good evening, viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in to Swansea News TV, a program where we profile what's happening in and around Wales. And in our top stories tonight, we're talking to a researcher based at the University of Swansea who's looking at issues of migration and gender. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for joining me in the studio. I'm interested in knowing, and perhaps everybody who's watching, what is your study going to focus on, and why is the study important? Thank you very much for having me in the studio to share my research interests. So imagine you're a woman who is fleeing a war-torn country, Ukraine, for example, and you just find yourself in Wales. You don't have money, you don't have the support network that you're used to, you don't have access to resources, and all of a sudden you're in a space where even the language that's being taught in Wales, you don't understand it. It must be very challenging. So it's one of the issues that my research is trying to look at, to see how the refugee and asylum seeker plan of Wales actually respond to the needs of women seeking refuge in Wales. The UNHCR published gender guidelines that are supposed to guide states on how they deal with gender issues in the asylum seeking process or refugee seeking process. So I want to see and explore how the refugee and asylum seeker plan in Wales actually address the needs of women in Wales. And I want to specifically look at how the Welsh government interprets the 2002 UNHCR guidelines. I want to see how to identify actually systemic gender issues that are within the refugee or asylum seeking process that are inhibiting women from enjoying their rights when they actually settle in Wales. That is very interesting, Beatrice, and it promises to be very exciting study. So how are you going to conduct this research? There's an existing body of literature around gender and migration. So I will look at the secondary data that I'll get looking at that refugee and asylum seeker plan and the reports from the government, as well as the reports from organizations that are here in Wales, such as Race Council, BAUSO, that are working with women who are seeking refuge and asylum seekers. And I'll explore that, I'll analyze that data, I'll conduct an inductive analysis of the data and, code it and put it into themes and patterns to see what critical issues that will be coming out. To get a nuanced analysis of the experiences of women, I also conduct interviews with women who are seeking refuge and those who have already settled. And I'll then analyze this data and, come up with my research findings. And obviously, I'll seek written consent from my participants of the study. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, and I hope your study is going to help policymakers to create a better Wales that provides sanctuary for all those who are in need of refugee or seeking asylum. Now we move on to the weather report.